wherever you are in the world. Welcome, welcome. This is the morning yoga practice. It's Hatha yoga. My teachings are with the Iyengar yoga method, so we use props. We're a little bit particular about the alignment and the structure of the pose. And I think that's why I love Iyengar yoga so much, because I love the details. I love the alignment. I love making sure that you're safe and long and strong as you can be. So for today's practice, you can use a chair or you can use a yoga block. So I'm going to use my yoga block. It's really only for one pose, and it will make the pose harder if you're using a yoga block. Brick, yoga block. If not, then you're going to use a chair. So depending how you're feeling, maybe you're not ready or you don't feel like it today to have the pose a little bit harder, so you'd use the chair. So we use the chair. See the nods? Noddy, nod, nod. Okay, so we are going to make a start. I was just letting everybody filter in there, which is wonderful. We're going to start today with a support to open the chest. So we have this lovely rolled up towel. And my apologies, if you've not done one of my classes before, I always ask that you have 2 large towels or blankets and a strap. Take one of your towels, roll them up, and place it across your mat. Take the other towel and fold it, please, and place that at the top of your mat. So one towel will be for your head, and this towel will be for your shoulder blades. You need to make sure there's a gap between the 2 towels. And your position today to start with will be lying on your back. The support will go right across your shoulder blades, your bra strap area. Your arms will go in the space between the 2 blankets. Then you need to make an assessment about the head. If your chin is higher than your forehead, you need to fold the towel on the floor again. There should be no compression, no curvature in the back of the neck other than the normal curve. Arms out to the side. Palms face up. Fingers are open and relaxed. Palm of your hand facing up. Let the top of your shoulders, the front of your shoulders, let them fall back. Relax your legs. And we always start with an element of quiet time. This creates a little bit of space. It allows us to interrupt the thoughts and become a little bit more present. Which is the full goal of yoga, is to actually make us present, aware, and living in the now. So in this pose, invite your arms to go a little bit heavier. And invite the shoulders to fall back. The back of your shoulders shouldn't be touching the towels. Take all of the expression out of the face. Relax the beautiful face. Relax your eyebrows so the forehead can lengthen. And place the tongue in the bottom of the mouth so the jaw can soften. As the jaw softens, relax the throat and neck. Now direct your mind to your breath. Inhale and exhale through the nose. And lengthen the size of the breath. Expand the sides of the ribs. Expand the size of the chest. Imagining that your chest is like a large balloon. And you're going to inflate that balloon. Large, round. When it's inflated, you're going to pause, and then you're going to slowly deflate. So inflate the chest balloon. Back ribs, side ribs, all part of the balloon. Pause, feeling full. Slowly exhale. And do that 5 more times. Keep the mind on your breath. 2 more, please. And now the mind is a little bit quieter. We can begin our practice. Bend your knees and bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out to the side. So you make that butterfly shape. Now bend your arms, hands are off the floor. Let the arms fall back into cowboy surrender. And our opening pose today is opening the hip and opening the shoulder. 2 essential poses for the health of your hips and your shoulders. As you move those arms into cowboy surrender, if your elbows have to come off the floor, that's okay. You might find that your elbows are down, but your hands are not. that's okay too. You might need to just take your hands a little bit further away from you to be able to get the back of the hands on the floor. This is a wonderful pose. You should feel firm under your shoulder blades, as it's directing the shoulder blades to be flat, which is really important if you want your arm to sit properly in the shoulder socket. So fabulous for those of you with shoulder issues. The other amazing thing about this pose is that it's elevating your heart chakra. So it's good for boosting your mood, your self-esteem, giving you a little bit of an energy boost, because your weight and your energy is often all in your head. The overthinking, the conversations, the stress of work, the stress of life, it's all weight in the head and it drains the energy. Now from this position, bring the knees to the center. Bring your arms down by your side. Roll to the side to come off your support, and you're going to feel stiff in your upper back. That's a good thing. We're just breaking down some fascia and making some improvements. Now I'm just going to start on the floor today with your straps. So take your supports away so your mat is clear, and if you need to, you can have a support underneath your head, and that's all linked to how tight your chest and shoulders are on a normal basis. So you can have a towel under your head. Main thing, you've got to have your chin and forehead level when you're lying on the floor. You're going to take a strap. If you have a yoga strap, put a loop in it. If you don't have a yoga strap, it doesn't matter. If you've got the loop and the yoga strap, put the loop so it's on your heel, and then you can just pop your hand in the loop. If you're holding a strap that maybe is a belt or a tie, you can just bring both ties together and just grip them with your right hand. Now, wherever you are, can you please straighten out your right leg? And that means you really have to pay attention to the back of the knee, because most of us hang the leg with a slight bend. So really think about opening the back of the knee. If you can lift up the back of the heel, bonus. But if that becomes too much, the back of the knee takes the priority. Now, please may I invite everybody to just gently pull down on the strap so you feel your hip bone sit down a little bit deeper towards the floor. So it's just like a pull down. I've got that strap pretty close to the heel so that as I pull down, it kind of weights the femur in the hip socket. Leg straight though. Now, can you straighten your left leg out along the floor? And can you please charge that left leg? Your toes should point straight up. Now, keep the right leg straight. I'm going to move your energy. You're going to take your left arm and you're going to inhale over the head. Exhale down by your side. Inhale overhead. Exhale down by your side. 2 more. Good. Now take your left arm out to the side, squeeze the right leg straight, and now pull the right leg away from the body, open out the hip. Squeeze the leg straight. Opposite leg, what you're doing with the opposite leg, please don't relax it. Opposite leg should be engaged, so it's creating that lovely stable base for your pelvis. Now same thing with the left arm. Inhale overhead. Exhale, return. 3 more times. Keep the right leg straight. Squeeze the muscles into the bones, both legs. Last one. and release. Now bring the leg up to the center. Place your left hand on the strap. In that loop, you can just pull down if you've got the loop, or if you grip in if you don't. And then from here, oh, my loop's too small. From here, take the right arm out to the side and pull the left leg across, the right leg across the body. As you pull that leg across the body, let that hip come up. Invite the rotation. But as you pull across, you're going to keep your right shoulder on the floor, please. Now, everybody, press your right hip down and away from your armpit. Keep the legs straight. Good. Now, you must keep that right leg working. Press out into the heel bone. Keep that leg straight. Feel that lovely release. I don't know whether it's really lovely. It's really good for you, but I don't know whether it feels really lovely. And then inhale, bring that leg up to the ceiling. Good. Now from here, you're going to bend your left knee back on the floor. And you're going to bend your right knee, flex the ankle, and place the right ankle on your left thigh. Now press your right thigh away from you. So you've made a number 4 shape. Keep the flexion in the ankle. You can let go of the strap. Bring the hands between the center of your legs and hug the left thigh in. Keep the flexion in the right ankle. Keep pressing the right thigh bone away. As you just release the back of the buttocks, the piriformis, the glute area. Really good for the health of your lower back. Super, and then bring the foot back to the floor and take the leg off. Start with both knees bent. We do the sequence other side. Bring the leg in. Bring the strap across the back of the heel. So you don't want it up on your toe. Bring it down, middle of the foot towards the heel. Straighten out the leg. So you've either got your hand in the loop, and for me, I need my loop a little bit smaller. I like to have a nice straight arm or a slight bend in the elbow. Now open the back of the knee. The back of the knee takes priority. Remember, most of us have this micro bend, and your joint needs to have its full active range of motion. So if you don't encourage that active range of motion, you just end up with really tight hamstrings. Now, if the back of the knee is open, can you lift up through the back of the heel bones? As you lift up through the back of the heel bone, that's going to invite more sensations down the leg, as you're also bringing in your calf muscle. And your calf muscle inserts in the back of the knee. So again, that's going to increase the stretch or the pull of the hamstring. Now pull down. So you've got that downward pressure. So it's not, I'm not pulling in, I'm just pressing down on my strap. I'm pulling down on my strap. So it secures that femur deep into the hip socket. Then from there, I take the right leg out on the floor. I charge the right leg with the toes pointing up, and then I'm going to inhale, straight arm overhead. Exhale, return to the waist. In your own rhythm, breathing in and out through the nose. Keep your left leg working. So we're trying to keep the mind quiet, utilizing the breath. One more. Good. Now from this position, take the arm out to the side. Secure the shoulder on the floor, palm faces up. Squeeze your left leg and take it away from the body. As you take it away from the body, watch what's happened to that right leg. You don't want that right leg to just suddenly flop and relax. So press out into that right heel bone. Straighten that right leg. Glue that right thigh, hip, buttock down to the floor. Good. Now once again, right arm up and over the head and back down. 3 more breaths. Now bring that right hand onto the strap as you bring your left leg up to the center. Put your left arm out to the side, palm faces up. Inhale. Exhale, pull that leg across the body, all the way across. Keep it straight though. Keep your opposite shoulder down. Let your bum lift up so your left hip lifts up. Right leg can relax and it can flop out to the side. Left shoulder down. The series we've done is called the Padangusthasana series. And Padangusthasana means hand to big toe. Because eventually you will do all of this with your fingers wrapped around your big toe. And your legs will still be straight. And then release, bring that up to the center. Bend the knee, flex the ankle, and fold by bending the left knee, placing that left ankle on the right thigh. Now establish the pose by gently, in your mind, pressing the left thigh away so you make that number 4 shape. Let go of the strap. And now lift the feet up and hug that right knee in towards your chest. Now be careful that you've not twisted your hip. So you don't want that left buttock to sit high. Keep the left buttock pressing down and away from the waist. As you tease that right thigh in, keep pressing your left thigh out. Inviting the stretch through the buttocks. And the piriformis, another muscle there in deep underneath the buttock muscles. Couple more breaths. And then release, take that down, remove the strap. Roll to your right hand side, bring yourself up. We can't stay down on the floor all day, so we've got to get up now. So we're coming into a standing position. If you have a chair, have the chair to your right hand side. If you have a yoga brick, have the yoga brick to the right hand side. And we're actually going to start kneeling. And we're going to start with a blanket underneath the knees, blanket or towel underneath your knees. And you're going to take your right leg out to the side, and your right heel is going to line up with your left knee. Square your body. This is Parigasana, the gate pose. So right heel, left knee alignment, body square. Now I want you to take your outer buttocks and squeeze them in. So your outer buttock, squeeze them into the back of the body. As you do that, you should feel something in the front of that hip. Place your right hand on the inside of that knee thigh and press into it. As you press into that thigh knee, you want to squeeze it into the hand. Now inhale, take up your left arm. Is your left arm straight? If it's not straight, then you're just putting the load and the weight into your shoulders. So make the arm muscles do some work. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your arms, lift your chest. Good. Keep pressing into that hand, pressing into that knee. Now, can you lift your left armpit and can you extend towards your right? And as you extend, you'll kind of slide your arm down. Now, you might end up with your elbow on the inside of your knee. Squeeze the buttocks, push into your heel bone. Don't let that bent knee collapse in. Press it back. And then inhale up, take it down. Other side. Left leg. So left heel lines up with the knee. Left arm inside of leg. I press into the knee and I squeeze the knee into the hand so that I keep that solid position. Grip the buttocks. Now team, I'm just going to ask for a minor adjustment. Some of you have stepped your left leg out and your right hip has shifted. So can you see this angle here? I need you to be back so that your right hip is directly over your knee. I just don't want to stress that kneeling knee. So a very square angle, 90 degrees here. Press in, lift up. Squeeze your buttocks, outer buttocks, in towards the center of the spine. Inhale, lift the right arm with intention, with purpose, with meaning. We are here in our practice, connected. Squeeze the buttocks. Good. Now lift and lengthen the right side of your body. And as you lift and lengthen, you slide that left arm down the leg. Don't let the leg collapse in. Press into it. As you press your arm into your thigh, it allows the body to stay facing forward. Press into your heel bone. Squeeze your buttocks. And then inhale, come on up. Good. Now let's go into a standing position on your feet. Clear your mat. Bare feet, please. That's so you don't slip. And also so that you have a little bit more of a connection with the floor. Just going to adjust that mat a little bit like that. Okay. Tadasana base, feet together or feet apart. Broaden all the toes, open them, lift them, spread them, place them back down on the floor. And now stand into your heel and broaden your heel on the floor. If you don't get the feet right, it will impact the whole chain. Lift your arches if you know that you're flat-footed. Lift your arches. Now lift your knees, lift your thighs. And as you lift your thighs up, can you move your thigh bones back? Move your thigh bones back. For some of you, you might feel like you're a duck. Move the thigh bones back. Lift the abdomen up. Move the shoulders back and stretch your arms down towards your heels. Bring your head onto the imaginary wall. Now inhale, Urdhva Hastasana and lengthen. Keep the lift, please, in the arches of the feet, in the knees, in the abdomen. Top of your shoulders, down, away from the ears. Arms straight. If you need to go wider, if it's trouble in the shoulder, you go wider, but still work on the integrity, which is the length, the energy. Keep the heart lifted. Good. Broaden your heels into the floor. Thigh bones back. Now stand strong in your right leg and externally rotate your left leg like you did in your gate pose. Pull up on your right thigh and without using your hands, lift the left foot up. Wherever it goes, it goes. Relax your jaw. Vrikshasana, the tree pose. And inhale, exhale, arms down, leg down. Beautiful. Other side. Re-establish your base. What can you do to have more of your foot on the floor? What can you do to lift the arches of your feet if you know you're flat-footed? Ground the mound of the big toe, baby toe and heel. Lift the knees, lift the thighs, lift the abdomen. Roll the shoulders down, straight arms at the side of your body. If your arms are forward on the front of your thigh, that means that you've not set the shoulders. Shoulders back, mid-thigh. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up. Spread into your left heel bone. Rotate your right hip out. Without using your hands, squeeze your left buttock and lift your right thigh, right foot off the floor. Wherever it goes. No judgment. Free and safe and happy. Free of judgment. Arms straight. And then lower the arms, lower the leg. Beautiful. We're moving on to Ardha Chandrasana, which is half moon, which is what we've been preparing for. And we're doing a half moon pose today for those of you who've gone through a time change. When you go through a time change, you sometimes feel slower or more fatigued. And this is a wonderful pose for your circulation and to get you going again. So if you've got a chair, it's at your right-hand side. If you've got a yoga brick, it's at your right-hand side. You're going to take your right leg, turn it out 90 degrees, and you're going to face it to the chair. Now, the position should be that your foot, if you've got the chair, oh, you'll be fine. You can just have your toes at the chair. If you've got a yoga brick, you're going to have your toes about 6 to 8 inches away from the brick. Okay? Step your left leg back. Separate the legs and please face forward. Press down into your feet, please, and pull the thighs strongly up towards your hips. Left toes are angled slightly in, right legs turned out, body's facing forward. Extend your arms. We're going for triangle pose first. Press your feet to the earth, lift your knees, lift your thighs. Tadasana in your legs. Slide your body across an imaginary wall by pulling that right hip deeply in. Lengthen the body and bring your hands down either onto the chair or onto your leg. Top arm reaches up. Now grip the thigh muscles and your body should face me. Hand can be pushing into the chair or it can be pressing into the leg. Top arm reaches up. Now everybody, can you take that top shoulder blade, pull it into the back body and then look up at your hand. Squeeze your legs straight. You're directly on the side of the body. Grip those outer buttocks into the sacrum. Good. Now from this position, take your top hand onto your hip. Bend your right knee. Look at your chair or your brick. Reach your hand out to your brick or your chair. Step your back foot in. And now your work is to push down into the chair or the brick and lift that left leg up, straightening out that right leg. Having the body facing forward. Top hand can be on your hip or it can reach up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. As you lift, you want that hip to face forward. Good. Nice. Now bend the knee. place the back foot, bring yourself up. But you do have to do it again. So set yourself back into triangle. We'll go from triangle into half moon. Those of you using the brick, you're working harder. If you prefer to use a chair, there is no judgment for that. Chest is forward, feet firm. Pull your thighs up, find Tadasana legs, build your foundation. Now move your right hip strongly in, reach out, find Trikonasana. Body faces forward. Beautiful, grip the legs. Now top hand on your hip, bend your knee, find your brick or your chair. Step the back leg in and adjust the brick or slide your hand along the chair so that you have a sense of balance. Stay where you are. Now, with that hand on the brick or the chair, as you float that back leg up, you need to charge it. Turn your body forward the best you can, and your top hand can stay on your hip or it can reach up. Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. Now bend the knee, place the back foot, bring yourself up. Lovely. We have to do it to the other side. So, brick or chair goes to the left. Now, if you're finding that the brick is a little bit too much and the chair is a little bit too easy, you can build up your brick. You could put a second brick underneath it. You could even put a folded blanket or towel underneath it. The higher you are from the floor, the little bit more stable you will feel. So if your balance is asking for more, then give it more. Be nice to yourself. Okay, other side. Left leg, 90 degrees turned out. Right leg, turn slightly in. Hips square the best you can. Shoulders square the best you can. Tadasana legs, press into your feet, pull your thighs up. Extend. Shoulders down the back body. Inhale. Exhale, move that left hip in. Extend the side torso, don't collapse. Hand down the back of your leg, top arm up. Pull the thighs up. Now, I'm intentionally not going all the way down to the bottom. And the reason I'm not doing that is because I find that most people, when they do triangle pose, are actually forward because their mind is all about going low. And triangle pose, you should be sandwiched between two panes of glass. So I'm always going to go for the quality of the pose rather than the finished version. Now from here, place your top hand on your hip, bend your knee. Look at your chair or your brick. Reach out for that, stepping the back leg in and adjusting wherever you need to adjust. You press down into the chair, you press down into the brick, and you just invite that left leg to straighten. And as that left leg straightens, that hip can face forward. Top arm can go up. Or it can stay on the hip. Squeeze the leg muscles into the bone. And then bend the knee, place the hand, and bring yourself up. Now, you definitely were not thinking about work, the kids, or the animals. Hopefully, you were completely focused. We're going to try it again. So we're in position for Trikonasana, triangle pose, with the left leg turned out, the right toes turned in. We're pressing down, we're pulling the thighs up, we're lifting the heart, we're moving that left hip in, extending out. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Then from here, top hand on the hip, bend the knee. Reach out, find your chair or your brick. Finding your balance, you just slowly begin to straighten out your left leg. Allowing the right leg to lift. Charge the right leg. You can keep your hand on your hip, or you can take your hand up. Chest is facing forward the best it can. It will come more forward with time and practice. And then place the hand, bend the knee, bring yourself up. Lovely jubbly. Now from here, step to the back of your yoga mat and widen your stance and point your toes straight forward, please. Toes parallel, straight ahead, no out, no in, straight ahead. Press into your feet, pull your thighs towards your hips, lengthen here, lead with the breastbone, extend yourself forward and bring your hands to the floor. If your hands are not touching the floor, you just need to take your legs a little wider. Now, press your toes into the floor and lift the tailbone up, lifting the back of the buttocks and the tailbone up. Lifting the back of the buttocks, the tailbone up. Good. Opening out the back of those knees. Now if your hands are comfortably on the floor, you might be able to walk them back. And if we walk them back, they're going to walk back to the back of your mat. So they're actually lined up with the archways of your feet. And if your hands are on the floor, you would squeeze your elbows towards each other. And then you would just, wherever you are, you would now let your head hang. So let the head hang. A little bit of traction there in the neck. Press down into the toes. As you press down into the toes, the body will propel forward. Keep the lift in the tailbone. Keep the hanging of the neck. And this wide-legged pose is really good for stress and insomnia because we're actually flushing out the brain here. Couple more breaths, let the head go. And then walk your hands forward, lift your head and pause for a moment. Now using the strength of your feet, pull up on your thighs, bring yourself up. Lovely. And now bring your legs together. Downward dog is next. If you're working with issues in your wrists and you can't bear the weight for downward dog, then your option is to do everything with us, but to do it at the wall. If you're coming down into downward dog on the floor, we're hands and knees. Wherever you are, your hands are shoulder width apart, middle finger at 12 o'clock. Spread open your fingers and spread open the flesh of the hand and press into the flesh of the hand really firmly. Now take your outer shoulder blades in towards the center of the body. So outer shoulder blades in towards the center of the body. Arms straight, tuck your toes under. Push into the flesh of your hands. With your knees bent, lift your hips up. If you're at the wall, walk back. Now, press your chest through towards your thigh bones without losing the pressure in your hands. Hang your head. We are revitalizing your energy today, removing any sluggish desires of the energy. Press into your hands. You mustn't let that go. Hang your head. Move your chest back. If you can, you might want to straighten out the legs. In about 5 years, your heels will go to the floor. But today they are where they are, no judgment. Straight arms is the priority, chest moving back. And then come up onto your toes, bend your knees, come down. If you're at the wall, come down and join us, please. Knees apart, toes together. Sink back into child's pose. Lengthen the spine, relax the arms. Sink your bottom towards your heels. If you've got issues in the knees, just keep your bum up nice and high. That's okay. Now from this position, go forward and lie onto your chest, please. Palms of your hands facing the ceiling with your arms at the side of your body. Firm the legs by gripping the bottom. Feel the front of your hips press into the floor. And lift your chest off the ground. Lift your arms off the ground. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other and then descend them down the back body. Grip the buttocks. Look down at the floor. Hold Salabhasana. Hold that lift. Good. Nicely done. Chest up high. Chest up high. And then release and lower that down. Bring your hands forward, please. Fold them and just rest your forehead onto your hands. Grip the buttocks. Outer buttocks in towards the center of the spine. Lift the legs up off the floor. You can separate the legs slightly if you need to. Lift the legs up off the floor. Legs apart, lift them off the floor. Knees off the floor. Lift. Lift. You're using the strength of the buttocks. Get those legs up high. And release and lower down. Now, can you add both together? The upper body and the lower body. True Salabhasana or the locust pose. Arms down by your side. Look down at the floor. Squeeze on your buttocks, outer buttocks, move towards the center of the spine. Lift the chest, lift your arms, lift your legs, reach, lift, legs, arms, chest, lift, lift, hold, squeeze the buttocks. And release. Beautiful work. Tuck your toes under and roll over onto your back, please. I know you want to do child's pose. I know you probably want to lengthen out that spine. I just want to do one more extension before we do that. So lying on your back, walk your feet in so that they're pretty close towards your bottom, and they're about hip distance apart. Active Setu Bandha now, a bridge pose. Spread your toes on the floor. Spread your heel into the floor. As you press your heel into the floor, move those outer buttocks in towards the spine and lift your hips up. So outer buttocks in towards the center of the spine. Firm in your heels, lift up. Now extend your arms down so the knife edge of your hands and your arms are on the floor, and you might be able to walk your arms down so that you can actually grip your own heels. Now outer buttocks towards the center of the spine. Now, if you're not reaching your heels, that's not a problem. You might be able to bend your arms and put your hands on your hips or you might be able to just hold your bottom. So many different variations in Setu Bandha. This is an active Setu Bandha. But the key factor, outer buttocks towards the center of the spine. And release. Bring that down. Fantastic. Take your arms out in T. Right knee bent, left leg straight. Lift your right foot up off the floor. Left hand on the outside of the thigh. Pull that thigh all the way across the body until the shoulder lifts up. Keep your hand down though. So full rotation here. Releasing the spine. And then release, bring the knee back to the center. Bend both knees. Arms are in T. Right leg straight. Left leg lifts. Take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Hook your hand under and pull that leg all the way across. Opposite shoulder comes off the floor, but the hand will stay down. Nice full rotation here. As you exhale, pull your abdomen back. You might get a little bit more in that rotation. And then release, bring that up to the center. Soles of the feet go together. Legs go into butterfly. Arms go back into cowboy surrender. Starting to bring the energy down. But I hope you notice the lift, the rise of energy. Our program today started very passive and calm on the floor. Then we did some great work standing with our balance in our tree pose, and then our half moon pose. We continued that activity as we forward fold and then came down into back extensions of Salabhasana, the locust pose. Then into our bridge. And now we're bringing the energy back down as we come towards the end of our practice. A couple more breaths like this, let go of the thighs. And bring the knees up, roll to the right hand side. And we're just going to finish with pigeon pose today. If you're working with knee issues and pigeon pose is not attainable for you, then you will do the number 4 stretch that we did at the beginning of the class. So we take 2 folded towels or blankets. We bring them to the right hand side. If those of you have a yoga brick, you can bring that to the top of your mat. So 2 folded towels, blankets to your right hand side. If you have a yoga brick, then just pop that at the top of your mat. Good. Please bring your right leg forward. And as you bring that right leg forward, you stretch the left leg back. And you have to fill the distance between your bottom and the floor with your towels. What you mustn't do is just sit into your right buttock. So as much support as you need to elevate the right buttocks so that you can be forward on your left thigh bone, on top of your left knee. Good. And then you're going to go straight onto your elbows today. And if you have a yoga brick, that brick is on its narrow edge. And I just bring my forehead onto the brick at the bridge of the nose. No yoga brick, no problem. Just relax your head wherever you're comfortable. And everybody press into your left thigh. Press your left thigh down. Press your left thigh down. If you're not doing pigeon pose, you're doing that number 4 shape. We did it lying on our backs at the beginning. And then release, bring yourself up. Tuck your back toes under. Lift yourself up. Change over. Props to the other side. Bring the left leg forward, moving that heel away from the groin. And then just bringing that support underneath your left buttock so that you're not just sitting on your left hip. We do need to try and get some symmetry across the back of that pelvis. So you want to be sitting on top of the right knee, on top of the right thigh. And then we extend ourselves forward onto the elbows. You can bring the brick in under your third eye, the bridge of the nose. Keep pressing the right hip and thigh down to the floor. Couple more breaths. And then release, tuck under your back toes, bring yourself up. And it's Shavasana time. We just have a couple of minutes today with legs up the wall. So you would just find a door, a wall, even the back of a chair will work. You would maybe have a towel or a blanket underneath your head. And we'll just finish with the last couple of minutes. Close to the wall, side on, spinning around, legs go up, towel goes under the head. Arms wherever you're comfortable. Back of buttocks down heavy. Eyes closed, please. Resting the tongue into the bottom of the mouth. Relaxing the jaw. Removing all of the expression from the face. Let your shoulders be heavy. Breathing in and out through the nose. Releasing the shoulders. Letting the arms be heavy. Couple more breaths. And then from this position, just bend your knees and roll to the right hand side. And then taking your time to bring yourself slowly up. Find a seat for your final pose, sitting however you feel comfortable. Length through the spine, palms together, head bowed. Taking a moment of gratitude for your wonderful, wonderful body. For the wonderful human you are. For the life that flows through you. And for the love you have to give. Namaste. Lift your head, open your eyes, place your hands. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you feel wonderful. Hope you feel a spark for life. Hope your joints feel good. Springtime, almost springtime. Thanks, Deborah.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
Tim.
much.
Thanks,
Lovely,
Mavis.
lovely
Thank you.
class. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Jackie. Nice to see you. Bye, Tracy. Thanks, Chantel. Glad you liked it. Thanks, Denise. Yes, half moon can is a lovely challenge when you're using the brick. Thanks, David. Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, Karen. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. See you again soon.
We will.
Thanks, Nicola. Glad you don't feel like a zombie. That's what the practice was about, getting us all ready. Get rid of all that energy of the time change. Great stuff. Okay, everybody, I'm going to end the program now. I wish you a wonderful, happy rest of the day. Thank you so much for being with me. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.